All right, welcome back. Match two is about to start. MW won the first match, as it says on the bottom of the screen. We got a sub. Kyle's coming in for Wally, and a caster sub as well. I'm casting for Mac. Not feeling too well right now for this match too. So, yeah, Kyle subbing Wally. Interesting choice. What are your thoughts on that, Shawn?
Well, I think we have two super subs this match. Not only the caster sub, but we have Kyle sub. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe Wally had a very good time in that first match. He also might be playing CTs or something soon, so.
Yeah, no one wants CTs. Get out of the CT nonsense.
But, I mean, the Kyle sub is very interesting. I view Kyle as like he's kind of an enigma because I know he was very good in 2012. He used to be a TT'er, but he also used to play competitive League of Legends, I believe.
Oh, he still does.
He still does.
He's trying out for teams right now, so he's doing stuff. But you know, obviously he's looking to jumpstart the CB team. All right, we have another sub, and we have a streamer sub now. We have Wally subbing in for Rick, and now Wally's gonna give the point of view. So, yeah, I don't know, it's just interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see any subs from MW. I thought, you know, maybe if things went wrong the first match, Leops would come in, but still not sure about his availability.
Yeah, it's really interesting. They got 5 really strong runners. They can just kind of rotate in and out. But let's see. First race here. Hopefully this will be the first race with no DCs, as we have GB picked. Very prevalent track of who pulls triple shrooms. Fox gonna be in first. Trail right away, and then we'll go ahead and switch over to Wally, as Fox is going to be in first for a bit. Maybe he'll bag 0, but let's see if Wally's going to cook up some triple shrooms as he touches a 5th place box, and indeed he does. So we'll see if he makes it, because if he makes it, that's huge. If he doesn't, that's bad. So only 2 ways this can go.
There's only 2 ways it can go, and he does make it. Not the cleanest, but he does make it. I'm not sure if Xander has shrooms or was goldening.
Yeah, I think Xander might have just taken a better rock, to be honest, and he could definitely have shrooms. He's not even trailing yet, so there's a good chance he has shrooms. But regardless,
Storm on Daisy.
Yeah, he rotates here and there. You know,
really? I've never seen him on Daisy.
So, and Xander will have shrooms. Wally's going to try to follow him. And well done there. He does it pretty cleanly. And he has a shroom in second. We'll just switch over again to Fox. He's kind of stumbling a little bit, hitting the fire.
Oh, we did see a blue on the map, which Xander is going to dodge. And Wally's going to have a shroom in second behind him.
Yeah, so if Neo has the shock, Wally will be getting first this race. But I haven't really paid too much attention to the baggers as I probably should have. And now we got Fox and Stream buffering, so we'll go to Wally and see if he's able to make cut. We'll see if MW elects to TS him. Oh my god, he almost fell. Very big jump scare, but he's going to get into the cut. And no shot coming yet, so. And looks like we can, yeah, so looks like Fox will dodge.
Xander get TS'd?
I
think Xander got TS'd in the crack.
But
it's going to be a 1-3 for CB.
Yeah, 1-3 for CB. Fox ended up dodging in the cut. So it was definitely an MW shock. But, oh my gosh, Wally giving a huge jump scare there. I thought he was going to actually fall through the crack, but luckily enough for him, he did it. And he made rock twice, so as you can see, making rock twice can really give you a good spot. I mean, it increases your probabilities of getting in a good spot. And the blue, even though it doesn't hit Xander, it gives Wally first anyway, because he can't take the cut. And MW elects just not the TS and try to dodge Fox, but Xander getting TS in that crack, though.
I wasn't paying enough attention to the baggers. I apologize, but I think they would have for sure TS'd Wally if they had it at that point. Because I mean, Xander had first. Xander had free first if they TS Wally taking the cut, and he had to have known that Wally had shrooms and like one shroom left.
Yeah, and Sharon.
Not sure.
I think Sharon dodged though, because he still got second. I think it was just kind of unfortunate that Xander got TS'd in the crack, but regardless, Kyle might have still been able to beat him anyway. But it's a toss up. It's a neutral race, so up one is CB after one. And looks like they're like, you know what? No team picking. You know, pick whatever you want. So
yeah, I mean, we did see Zero picking random for most of the first match. Kind of an odd strategy, but
Delfino scorer. Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely expect a lot more luck tracks to come out from CB. As that will work very well for them in the first match.
Yeah, I got you. So Fox doesn't draft Xander, and he bumps Wally right out of first. So top three. Fox is gonna like to slow down here, probably. Okay, no, he's just gonna get a third place box, and why not? When you can
that's a huge misplay, but he got bailed out with that bomb.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can pull a lot of schlagging items in third, so I get the general gist of it. But yeah, he definitely pulled probably the best time he could have pulled. But he actually only gets one member, so Zero and Wally not getting streams though does kind of suck. We'll see if what Fox gets. He's gonna hold on to this star. Maybe not. He's just gonna go for Doc Star. So new interesting shortcuts.
Doc Star. I've never heard that one.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I do it all the time. So. But anyways, it looks like he's just gonna sandbag an 8th or 7th, try to get a dodge. Did you catch who was last or not? Or no?
I did not.
There we go. We're doing good. All right.
Yeah.
But we can switch over to Wally real quick.
Was expecting Fox to stop the 8th there.
Yeah,
CB most of the bottom spots.
He's gonna die to this TC, and I think MW. Yeah, they're 4 of the top 5 spots right now. So, you know, CB's going to have to get the shock here if they're going to be able to get anything good out of this. Fox is just going to keep sandbagging. And an early shock, Zero ends up dodging. Gotta hope his chain's really good, though. I think he chained that around 5th or 6th, so we'll end up seeing if he's able to do double or not. But he's getting into 3rd pretty quickly. So, and while he's pulling a star, there could be a second shock, you know, come around the double if he chains it. So I
believe
can see him holding it.
Roy's probably in 10th at this point. He did go backwards from the first set and is sitting at the last set currently.
Okay, we'll go ahead and switch over to Fox real quick as we'll see if he can get into the top spots again. Kyle is getting TC'd, and then we have Barney and Zero both doing double. Wally's, of course, changed his star now, hoping for another shock, but may not come. And MW looks like they may get top 3 out of this race. And yeah, definitely Neo's the bagger there. So top 3 coming in for MW.
Barney
Or
gets
top
bumped.
2-4. Okay, top 2-4. And Fox gets 7th. So great race for MW, despite CB getting the shock. The first set was kind of dictated by CB not really getting shrooms, and Kyle getting a TC and getting bombed right away, so kind of gave top 2 a little bit of a break. Zero kind of forced to use an unorthodox shock, hoping for a good chain, and he ended up doing double, but I think he lost a good amount of time due to some item, perhaps a bump, and yeah.
No, I think that shock in general was just kind of a head scratcher.
Oh, I'm sorry, top 2-4-5 for MW. You must have been seeing something, but yeah, I get what you mean by head scratcher, but they were very far behind. I mean, I don't know. At that point, you kind of just throwing something out there, I guess, right?
Yeah, but I mean, even the mega doesn't really help you unless you know, confirm that you have a good chain. And while he did get a good chain, he didn't get a top 2 spot, fortunately.
Yeah, I actually, I feel like the chain was still good, but he got hit or something because he was in second or third. I mean, he definitely was going to get like second at least. But yeah, that first set just kind of killed them. So without further ado, obviously we have the TFs coming out as per usual. But hey,
We have
Wally
5
gets
TFs and a bunch of other random stuff.
Are they just randoming every race maybe on their point of views? I mean,
I mean, 0 is, I'm pretty sure, but
don't want
I
a
don't
random
know.
TF though, you know.
Yeah.
So let's see what MW does. Last time they just barreled through the boxes, and they're just going to be a top 2 break for now. So we'll draft up to Xander. We'll switch over to Wally as he has triple shrooms, and he's just going to chain them here. And oh, okay, so MW top 2 now. And this is definitely one of those tracks where if the other team does a good shock, it's going to be hard to catch up on without blues. So
Spread barely doesn't connect. Man, he was spamming the the Z button very hard there. Throw that back.
Let's go ahead and switch over to Wally here, as he has reds. And you know, at this point for Wally, you're just kind of hoping for a blue shell or something. If it's a golden, I mean, honestly, probably should just spam this because top 2 so far away. Kind of need more boxes, maybe get a blue. But
I mean,
he's just gonna hold on.
It is a good pull, but it's not what he needs at this point in the race.
Yeah, he's gonna use it here, but they really need a blue shell badly or shock. They're 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, speaking of the blue, he needs a red here. If he gets a red, he can probably maybe combo him, but he doesn't pull one, so it should be an MW top 2 still. And no shock means it was being held probably, or just not pulled. CB is able to get 3, 4, 5, but it's not anything in the top 2 spots. So MW will once again win this race, and Xander and Fox just kept holding A, and they just broke away with it.
Yeah, MC3 is definitely one of those tracks where you can run, despite it being labeled a luck track. I definitely talked about that a lot in match 1. There's a lot of tracks where, you know, they're labeled luck tracks, but just due to their length or due to people's overbagging, you can build pretty good leads. And
yeah,
I mean, MW is even able to outlast a blue. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, every track is runnable. I think that's sometimes I can't help but stress that enough that every track is runnable, and I feel like every team wants at least one of their guys up there, particularly to actually at least be in first, because it's such a powerful position. Not only are you holding a chance of getting 15 points, but you're also able to back the room and just make things more complicated, or at least slow the rest of the room down, so you let your teammates catch up. But I think maybe I think Wally got triple shrooms in 7th first set when he stopped, so it didn't really benefit him much. Maybe if he got a golden, he could have golden up the maybe second or first, but triple shrooms when hard bagging like that, it's not going to make much of a difference.
yeah, you do kind of have to contest the guy in 8th though, a little bit. You can't really hard commit to the 8th place box because MW had top 2 at the beginning of that race, and Barney's gonna wait forever in 8th. You know,
Yeah,
if you have
for
top
sure.
2, you're chilling.
Yeah, the team with top 2 would end up probably just going for the 8th place box anyway because they have a better reason to. But without further ado, we're on the raceway. And we can switch over to Wally, see if he's going to pass this DC real quick. He indeed does on our other point of views. And then he gets it right back. So scratch what I just said. He just got DC'd. And then Fox just in first, as he's been doing for a good amount, first or second in this war so far, besides Delfino. And yeah.
This is a bottom 3 for CB.
Yeah, it is Raceway though, and Gio is in last, I believe. So that's good news, especially since Wally just pulled a star, which is the powerful item on this track.
I do want to point out though that in the last war on Raceway, CB did have bottom 3, but they also had first, and they were get top 3 out of it when they pulled Shock.
Yeah, so Roy is going
Great
back.
chain.
It looks like Roy may just have. He's just going around the pipes, and he's just going backwards again. So Wally just electing to chain his star. And yeah, I don't know why he did that.
Not a great play to go to the right of the pipe there.
Yeah, MW kind of just calls it out, and they just kind of ruin Wally's race for now. And I think they dodged someone in the Mega, so.
But still, I mean, the pack is close, and CB has bottom spots. This is not that bad for CB.
Maybe that was bait from Wally. Maybe just to kind of trigger that, because the pack, like you said, is pretty close.
Well, that would be 200 IQ, but Shawn is stopping, and he gets a random green.
And also, you never know when a blue can be pulled. Wally's holding this, maybe hoping for a second shock, not taking the cut there, or trying to predict an MW shock, or making them not use it. So we'll see. He unfortunately hits the tree.
Ooh.
And there's the blue being held by Sharon, and yeah, looks like that's going to be another
Top
good race
3.
for MW.
Is that a top 3 for MW?
They definitely got a really good race. But I was just kind of watching Wally's point of view.
Yeah.
So, wow. I mean, yeah, that could have been 200 IQ, like you said, but it just didn't really work.
Yeah, I mean, if Wally would have pulled a golden in 8th in that box, he would have been up there with the rest of MW. But he pulled a star and went around cut. I don't think that was probably the play. But yeah.
Yeah, but CB digging themselves a little bit of a hole here after the first GP, but MW was down 44 GP1 last war, so obviously anything's doable. And speaking of 44, it's actually the total of GP1, so maybe the tables will be reversed. You never know, but
will we see a 3-race run of plus 70 from Charge Brigade?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what this is setting up to be.
I don't think Storm would go Daisy again. It did not work out for him very well the first GP.
CB, I don't know. Have they gotten any of the shocks yet? They got the Delfino one, but unfortunately, that was probably the most useless one they could have used. But
yeah, they were already in a really bad spot.
Yeah, they didn't get the Raceway one. They didn't get the GV one, and yeah, man, it's tough, man. It's tough playing MW because they're so good. They're just, I mean, not only are they like really TT bots, but they're also really good online players now. And they started off with TT bots with Fox and Barney, and then they just kind of progressed and learned the online ways, and now they're kind of like this complete player. You know, Fox has definitely been one of the best players for a while now. So
yeah, I mean,
just going to that.
Fox and Barney have been, together in their journey from TTs to online from 2015. Always been on teams together. Barney kind of been a little overshadowed by Fox, but I mean, if he's not on Fox's level, he's very close to it. However, Fox does fall off.
It's
so
like
massive misplay there.
Every time we say something good as a caster, it's like, no, you know what? No. It's not allowed to happen. So Storm
just saying F it.
Oh, he might have made it back. Oh, the Barney cheese coming out here. At 0, able to bill up. I maybe would assume that he was forced to use that. So,
it's just going to go Mega from Storm did not work out at all.
We got a TC battle here. Very hard to avoid TCs on this track with the slipperiness and the off-road. But he had a shroom. He can just kind of skedaddle on out of there.
He couldn't really afford to stop too much. CB is not good spots.
But he does pull
Zero is contesting for first.
Yeah,
but he dies. Okay, and that's probably going to be MW top 2.
We had a bagger just fall off, so the one that's going in the cave right now most likely he's just going back. And I think I might have called a C in that tag, but don't call me out on that one.
Neo.
So. Okay, we'll figure it out later. But Fox pulling the bill.
Likely shock and play at this point.
So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what happens with this shock, or if MW has it, they're just going to hold it till the end. So this will decide who actually has it. But
Yeah.
he's just gonna hold it. I'm surprised, honestly. But at this point, I guess he's just gonna hope that Dio can somehow get the shock or star it out of Roy, because they would have used it by now as Kyle went into a star. So that means MW has it or whatnot.
I
And yep,
mean, MW just has the whole day here. They don't have to do anything. Storm getting billed. That's that might be
oh,
curtains.
that's a
Oh,
top
barely evades the
4.
greens.
Yep, and this is going to be a top 4 for MW. So, depending a bomb snipe, you never know. Never know here. And the blue's not going to matter because you're just going to wait. And they get shock at the end though. Wait, oh my god.
Just wow.
Okay, I'm surprised.
Okay.
If MW used that, I don't know why they would use that because we saw Roy was still big, but I think I don't know. I wasn't looking at Fox's point of view. I probably should have, but there was a blue on the line. That definitely impacted something, I think. But still a top 2 for MW.
I doubt it was a blue cancel. I'm fairly certain that was Neo Shock.
Yeah. So top 2-4 for MW still. They just keep winning these races, and they're winning them by a substantial amount too. And now they also have the TF spots going into next race as well. But CB's just not getting into the front. They're struggling to maintain that top presence, and that's so important in wars. No matter what the track is, even if it's Sugarland or even Raceway, we saw Fox start from first and finish in first. It doesn't really matter. You want someone to be first at least, or even at least second. Just someone up there to provide front presence, because if the other team especially gets the shock, they don't need to use it, and then you're just kind of screwed in that sense too. So
I think that's really just the disadvantage of Daisy at that point, because we saw that race that Zero was their only front presence, and every time in match 1 I was watching Zero, he was just getting bumped out of spots, and he really couldn't like hold spots against Funky's trying to like fast own him and just everything.
Yeah, and I mean, they're getting good tracks to kind of reset their positions. Although Peach Beach, they're gonna get a draft off and forth. But I mean, they still got to get up there though. And this might be another tricky track to actually get up there, because if all the boxes are taken, you might not even get a good box to break these top spots right away. So one of these sneaky tracks to front run, but
yeah, I'm electing to run it though. TC, he can hold back the entire pack here.
Yeah. See, this is another terrible situation for CB, as they're not top 2 again, and they're gonna get TC'd, and other stuff is gonna happen.
I believe Wally passed it to a bagger, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, Fox gets rammed into the wall.
It's kind of a blessing in disguise though, because he's just gonna be able to hold down 8th. He's just gonna clog up the bill probabilities or the stars. So that's actually pretty good for Fox, considering they have such a massive top 2 break. CB's gonna need maybe 2 blues if they're gonna get a big race. Kind of a premature red throw at this point, but okay, never mind. They're gonna shock red him, and they're gonna dodge Zero as Roy. Oh wow! Wait, Roy billing in the pack.
What?
I'm swerving into that, bro. You guys swerve into that, right?
No, he's racing.
Oh, okay, he's racing.
Wally's position changed when Roy passed him.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you're right. They're all running this. Okay. I was like, wow. I was really confused, but so MW gets a huge race.
And Roy takes the floor to win TC.
So yeah, all running strat now. Yeah.
Wow, CB getting a little bit of their own medicine, and it worked out. It worked out very well.
I was about to say, like, if that's Roy bagging, bro, why not just swerve into that bill, right? But all run. Yeah, and this is looking grim for CB at this point.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand.
I mean, I love me some all run. I just didn't know they were really doing it, honestly. Just not paying attention enough, I guess. But CB down by a ton at this point. Maybe you consider all running and hoping you get like one top 5 here and there or something. But down a ton, so you're gonna have to get a lot of big races.
I mean, 84-6 is no small margin. One thing I haven't seen this war though from Charge Brigade is the Parkway pick. Where's that?
I feel like they need to get first and maybe like 4th to get that. I think they're just picking these reset tracks, which I mean, again, but they're just not really making the most out of it. They just seem to get in the top 2. Like, we have not seen them in the top 2. I feel like at all in this war, honestly. Maybe outside of maybe 1 or 2 races, but we see just Fox just drafting. They're just drafting, just building on this lead. And now, see, here's the problem with maybe holding a star is we can switch over to Wally. See if he ends up chaining this at the cut or not. But now he's just kind of relying on Neo to get shock.
I believe I saw Roy in last time I checked.
Yeah, so
it's about even.
Yes. So he is bagging this race, so Wally's really banking on them to actually get the shock this time. But we see a blue shell out. And doesn't like the chain, so, you know, I mean, at this point, you're just going to hold it. But see, this problem sometimes holding a star on LC, if you don't get the shock, it's not going to matter much. Xander gets killed, though.
Neo is in 10th, so, I mean, we'll just have to see.
We'll see. Top 2 for MW right now. Someone's in a star, and maybe they're going to call him out if they have it, and they don't. Oh, no, they do. Okay, I lied. And a huge bomb pull, if you can connect this, you should get Fox with this. And, yeah, he got Fox. And we can switch over to Fox real quick to see what he ends up actually getting. But he still gets third. So I don't think it's too bad, actually. They still
only a 1-4 for Charge Brigade, and they need a lot more. They need a lot more.
Yeah, this is looking ugly. They finally got the shock, though, and, you know, holding a star on LC pays off, but like I was saying, if you don't get the shock, I mean, holding a star on LC is not going to do you much good. If they don't get the shock, Wally's just going to get third. He gets first out of it, but a 1-4-7-8 is not what you're looking for at this point in the war. Now they're probably down around, 86-ish or so, 87-ish. So,
yeah, I mean, at that point in the race, like, you're too far behind top 2 in 5th, like, with your star. Like, I almost would say use that somewhere like lap 2 ending or something, just to make the pack closer and allow your bottom spots to catch up a bit more. Because it doesn't seem like that shock really benefited anybody but Wally.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think maybe they were banking on them pulling more dodges than just the one. But, you know, when you play that risky game, you know, sometimes you're just going to risk it like that. Got some Shy Guy Beach. I'm down. Let's see it. Okay, we got 2 of them. Got 2 Mario Circuits. There's Wrath coaching right now, subbing in.
I mean, we did just get the LC.
That is true. But regardless, they get their track pick again. Playing some interesting races this war. Or some tracks, rather, I guess. But MW is just like, we're just holding down A and it's working, so not really mixing anything up here. Fox hitting a crab. So he's going to be the one back now.
Forced to stop holding A right here, and all he has to do is just sit in 8th. He has the liberty of doing that. MW has top 2, I believe.
Yeah, he's just going to spam this golden up there. He's not going to like to just use it once and maybe try to get a dodge. So Zero is going to be able to hold down first, but we have not seen much out of this team, War 3 at least, but it's a good sign for sure. You can switch over to Wally as he gets TC, as Fox also gets bumped into the tree. And he's able to pass the TC off, then he gets a Mega, and he's just going to use it here. Baggers are relatively close. Looks like maybe both of them are streaming.
Did we see Fox get bumped off there? What happened?
Sure, but
I mean, it's a top
there
tier
is,
4 for Charge Brigade before the blue.
and
Um,
this red. Let's see if that's going to connect or not. No, but yeah, I don't think it's going to
he's gonna
connect
be able to
here.
break
Xander,
this.
yeah, probably on the tree. Yeah, so 1-3 for CB still. Fox holding the POW here, so this is a pretty crucial item. Probably get a lot of stuff out of CB. He's just gonna like to chain it here. So, and
Cancels
okay,
the crab hit though.
yeah,
That's pretty
he,
huge.
I think he kind of did that on purpose, honestly. But 1-3-4, because when you hit a crab like that, you're not gonna lose much speed off to the POW. So
Zero
this might be a
behind
good
him.
race. Xander playing very conservative as he should, and just get the
Whoa.
second. Oh, but a daisy spins out
Zero
on the
dies on
map.
the line.
Yeah.
I think that's only a 135.
But hey, it's a winning race, so that's I thought
It
that
is, and they
counts.
still are hardly in it. Hardly, I think. What is this? 31, 89. Yeah, I think they need 2 top 5s, something along those lines.
Yep. I mean, 1-3-5-6. It's a good race, but what? They're down already 89 before that race, so they're probably going to be down around
78, I think. Yeah,
okay
78.
78. Quick maths. All right.
So it is all running time, and honestly, I think this is what they wanted from the start. All run.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, MW is like obviously a tier 1 team with Ethereal, and sometimes you got to get a little bit creative. Like you said, picked a lot of luck tracks. The
Yeah.
first war, GP1.
And they
I
got
think
very
sometimes,
creative, and it worked.
yeah, and I think sometimes all run becomes interesting in the sense that I don't think the other teams are really prepping for it as much, and I feel like a lot of teams know how to kind of counter it at this point. But some teams do still tend to struggle in situations. All teams do, because sometimes it just becomes a clown fiesta with everyone kind of running into items, and you kind of just need to use lap 2 shocks to get up there, but then it can be counteracted by blues. So there's a lot of different variables that can kind of go in the way of all running. You have like someone that can kind of soak up hits and just more probabilities of getting blues, like I said, and more chances of just getting better spots, honestly. So
Yeah, for sure.
But
I do disagree though. I think that I think that teams don't encounter all run enough to know how to counter them well every time. I mean, I know, like, me and you obviously played against the Jerry Jones Barry Empire with Clan Bolo, but I mean, that was D2.
we've also
hasn't been tried in D1.
we also did an all-run war, I believe, versus Valhalla with Cinda in our lineup. So we have our own experiences. So I mean, and you know, in order to kind of really understand all run, you have to kind of play it and kind of like figure things out. But regardless, it's such a hard tactic for each side to the point where we just don't see it, you know. So, and I think that's fair.
And plus, it's very track dependent. Very track dependent.
Yeah, depends. But Fox being at first, and CB won this track last time. But
in this situation, Fox just went for Ultra in first, but he does pull a fib, so I'd be surprised if he does that here.
I think he might go for Shroomless blocking. Yeah, he's gonna do it. And you know, this is a really good strategy, but he gets bumped away from it, and flips it.
Very risky at that point. He was very bumped off the normal alignment.
And you know, I love playing BCP aggressively, and I've been sucking at it lately. I can tell you that much. But I mean, I'm capable of making these cuts, obviously, but not been playing well. And Fox, I've watched a little bit of his gameplay before.
I think Xander just bumped Zero off,
yeah,
from first to sixth. That's rough.
And I want to point something out. Like in Mogies, I feel like everyone should do that, where they should go for Shroomless block, because if you don't do cut, you're just like not going to gain anything out of it. But in a war, it's a little bit more risky, but I still like the decision though. And we see, Wally getting target blue pit as well, from our point of view. Well, I just ignore that. And MW's top.
I mean, that shock prevented top 3 from taking cut, but it did dodge. It did dodge. Or it did dodge short.
So it looks like a Storm is bagging actually this race. So maybe Neo's getting some reps in for running. Why not? You know, share the love around. And okay, Wally making a play. So looks like I think top 2 for MW maybe. And Fox is just kind of hard 7th, and the blue will be thrown soon. It's a good blue for Wally. Maybe you can get him if he goes for Ultra, or if he just stops there. And Zero's going to get into first. So let's see what Wally does here in 5th.
Go for Shroomless?
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Yep.
Oh, no, he doesn't. But he
have to commit to that, Wally.
Yeah, you kind of do. He does actually hit an MW member, though. Go ahead and switch over to Fox. As he does the Star Shroomless. No shock used, though. So... And both of the baggers just kind of sitting there as well.
Oh,
a
great
beautiful
bomb
snipe.
Next on Fox and Wally, though.
Wow, yeah. Put nice little touch on it.
They were so far apart when that hit. That was...
Yeah, that's actually crazy. I wish we got like a dual point of view on that for stream, because they were definitely a little bit more separated, and the bomb still caught both of them in it. It was kind of wild. But CB, I think, getting bombed too.
Yeah. That race does spell the end of CB.
Do you think we're going to get more plays where first is going to end up going for Shroomless and trying to block it, as we saw Fox try to do lap 1? You think teams are going to start doing that more?
I personally just don't find Shroomless consistent in like any way. Ultra's much more consistent. And if you're going to block a cut, I think it's better to block Ultra. Like, if you have a fib in that scenario. Sure, it might be, like, more difficult to get it in your mind to put the fib down. But I think generally Ultra is a lot more consistent than Shroomless.
I don't know. I think it goes both ways. I think it depends on the situation, though, obviously, because this is a situational game. And I think it depends on if your team has shrooms or not. So, you know, if your team, like, let's say you're first and your whole team has shrooms, there's a good chance you're just going to go for Ultra, because you don't want to block the shortcut, and you just want your team to go for cut anyway. So, I think that's also the other scenario. But maybe Fox's team didn't have shrooms, so he just wanted to try to block it so CB couldn't take it. And also MW, I think everyone in this lineup can do Ultra at a pretty high clip as well. So
yeah, I mean, when you're just considering like what Fox's scenario was there in the first war, when he pulled the green, he couldn't block the cut. He immediately went for Ultra in first. So I think it really just depends on what item first pulls, more so than just like who has shrooms, who doesn't, because that can be worked out at a later time.
Yeah. And yep, this might be an all run for both teams now. I mean, it's kind of already been decided, so.
Yeah, we're just taking some victory laps from MW.
Yep, and so MW will get a bye after the series one, right? Is that how this works?
Correct. The two highest seeds remaining from the summer splits, I guess, kind of division stage, you could call it, which were, what was it, Ethereal or KG that came in second? It might have been KG. Either way,
sure. I
the top two seeds.
I think CB got picked first, though, right? We should have done our research. All right, now Mario Circuit. Mario Circuit top 3 MW, you know, yeah. Wally in 4th. Bomb coming out, doesn't connect. No. Spamming. Oh no, spams a TC with the PAL.
Clarified. They didn't pick CB first. EA got picked first out of the remaining.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Nice mega pull.
Yeah. CB gets 2, 3, 4. 5? I don't know. 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 5, 6.
Kyle's just sitting there.
Yeah, I don't know what Kyle is doing. Maybe Kyle's trying to make a play, but I don't know. Maybe he was bagging. Who knows? Maybe he was. I don't know. But a race win for CB. And hey, if you have 0 on your fantasy team, he's piling up the garbage time points. 27
That is
and
true.
2.
We are playing for just fantasy at this point.
MKW fantasy leagues. You know, this is good news. If you have 0, he's trying to salvage you right now. He's trying to get that average up.
Do you have a MKW fantasy team, Yoshter? Because I don't.
I used to have one, and we did CTs, I think. Oh, actually, no, we did both. And my first pick was Tractor or whatever. I called him Tractor.
Well,
you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, yeah. Did you know that Trattor is actually tractor in Italian?
Wow.
Yeah.
I learned something new. But, I mean, I guess that makes sense,
serious.
right?
All Afraid, well, I mean, unless All Afraid was lying, but All Afraid does not lie. That man is a saint.
Yeah, I picked him with my first pick because he was, like, in the low CT division. And, like, he was supposed to be, like, really good, right? So I was like, all right, he's just going to put up, like, 140 because it's CTs every match. And then he just doesn't even play. Just doesn't play. So I'm just like, oh, I'm getting screwed over by that now. So he just went to the IR or something, you know, injury reserve. So yeah, I used to have one for sure, and of course I picked myself too. You got to pick yourself as well. But Moonview Highway, race 11 now. And this track, I mean, it's good for top spots, and it's really good for top 4 too, because you can take all the boxes.
Oh, we see Wally in our other POV draft into a car when he was the only spot up there. Looks like it's gonna be MW top 2.
There it is, the classic MW Gillen 8th. There it is. Fox pulls it in the second item set there. But hey, never know. That's why I changed the star. Giving yourself that 7.5% probability. And Kyle just like, oh,
what is he doing?
like
He's going backwards with a TC?
Well, yeah.
Kyle?
He's trying to make a play, man. Top 4 for MW. Fox.
Everything exploding on my screen right now. What is going on?
Let's switch over to Wally and let's see if he's able to make a play here with this bomb. Maybe he could just chuck it across the map somehow. You know, I don't know how that would.
You can't throw the bomb across this wall on the right here where he is. A lot of people don't know that. I only learned that like a week ago.
Did you learn that from Ballin?
Correct.
Dude, how did I guess?
Because he just snipes randoms worldwides.
I wanted to see it.
He learns.
MW top 4 right now. So, I mean,
dude, I wish we had a Kyle POV.
Yeah, I do too. And it looks like, oh wow, we see 2 CB members giving up. They're going backwards. Well, we see a troll. Let's go to Fox's screen here. Will this be a troll?
Whoa!
Whoa, everyone dying on that turn though. And Fox is like MKW fantasy Indies. Yeah, Fox, that's good news. He just took, that's a 7-point swing. Okay, I switch over to Wally. We see 0 dodging. It's Wally and Wally getting another TC. He likes to call that his token item. And MW getting a top 4 though. Not sure what happened around that turn though. Might have been some Indian picking going on here, maybe some team killing.
Yeah, I think they might have actually trolled that race. I don't know why like 4 people would just be spinning out on the last turn. I think Storm was there.
Yeah,
he was the one that
in a professional setting. But I mean, at this point, I think both teams kind of know it's already over. I mean, honestly, going into this GP, I think both teams kind of knew it was over. But
they're just finishing it out to finish it out.
Got this fun room going on here. So the next match we got Velicor versus KG, and I think around 5 p.m. Eastern, which is 45 minutes from now, I think, right?
Correct.
Okay. You have any predictions for that match?
Oh boy, do I have a lot to say about that match.
Well, go ahead. We have a whole kind of a meaningless race to kind of just. What do you think?
the only factor. All right, there's one condition.
Oh no, here we go.
I know. There's one condition that will decide if VC wins or not, and that is solely on if Nico is bagging. Solely on if Nico's bagging. Obviously, AV lost to VC last week. I won't talk about the specifics, but going into the match, we knew VC was probably a top 6 team, and you know they deserve to be in the top 6. They beat us. I think they have a good shot at beating KG, personally.
Yeah, I think VC is kind of went under the radar a little bit in terms of, I think because of kind of the CP distribution too, and them joining late. But I think more so they have talent on their roster. I mean, Sane's obviously been a really good player for a couple of years now. So I mean, Ken has improved through the Mogi mains, and sometimes you can apply Mogi playstyle to Wars still. And yeah, they definitely have talent. I mean, beating AV, your team, which AV ended up getting second in the spring split. So there's definitely some positions moving around.
Oh, just interruption from that to see a bomb snipe from Fox. Actually connects, but he does fall off in the process.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where we're at in this war right now. Just jumping off the track doing bombs, just like Casper did versus HRC. Yeah. And so MW able to move on. They're going to be in the finals, and then obviously we have Ethereal versus Wollywogs is the other match. That's going to be a great one. That match is actually undecided on when that will actually be played, though. So
yeah,
hopefully that gets done.
Schedules.
Personally, I got this tingling feeling in me that I think Velcor is going to win if Nico does bag, because I don't think they have another bagger. So I think like that is the biggest condition. I think too.
The biggest development going into the match last week was that Ornan was learning how to bag, so that he would bag instead of Nico. But
wow.
Nico said last minute that. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but okay, go ahead, keep going. That was just keep going.
But okay, what I was saying was Nico basically said like that he would be able to bag last minute, and he was the difference in the war.
Yeah, Nico is a very experienced bagger. I mean, even if he's a little bit rusty, he knows what he's doing. So, I mean, you know, and I guess KG's bagger. What is it still Ryu? KG's bagger?
I don't. Lately, they've been having Shaka bag, and I don't know how good he is, or what the results have been. But I mean, I think if Nico's bagging, I think they still have an advantage, unless Ryu's playing.
Okay.
Ryu's very good.
And I mean, this match, there's not really much to talk about. I mean, because the only thing I can really say is that MW were consistently top 2. I think maybe like it could have been around 10 races. I mean, I don't know the specifics on how much they were top 2, but even like these luck tracks, they were playing consistently and over again. Still maintaining that top presence is important. And usually the ideal scenario is to be around top 2, 5th, getting schlagging items, or even 3rd, and then someone holding a dodge, preferably a star. And that's kind of how it works on these luck tracks. And especially when you're not getting the shock, where I don't think CB really got too many shocks on the tracks. They're kind of like putting all their eggs in one basket, trying to dodge the shock, and they just weren't able to.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what propelled them to their early lead in the match 1. They used some very good shocks and, converted on them.
Yeah, it speaks volumes to MW. I mean, they had a lot to prove going into this split. After I think kind of underperforming a little bit in the spring split specifically. So it's they're definitely proving why they are maybe the best team or the second best team. That's definitely up for debate. But yeah, I mean, this without further ado, I would say that this would be maybe not the expected score, but I think the expected 2-0. I think a lot of people thought it would be. But yeah, I don't really have much to say because that second match, like I said, really came down to them just kind of outrunning.
Yeah. I feel like everything that was supposed to be said has been said so far. So I guess we'll just wrap up there. Want to finish out, Yoshter?
Yeah, so we have another match scheduled, I believe, like we went over at 5 o'clock Eastern, which is in 40 minutes. And it should be a good one. I think that one will be really competitive. And there's a good chance I'm tuning in, eating some dinner. See what ends up happening between those two teams. Get some popcorn ready, and we may even see you game 3. And yeah, I think that's it. See you then.
See you guys then.